Man, does a man have 6 fingers or something?
I don't know. It's like, how do you go from that to then?
Screw this. I'm just sticking it this way.
Like that. It's a bit like it's like an inverted like Naito right here. Isn't it? Yeah, that works too.
It's not the right one, but it's all I know.
Dame Edna, is that you?
Oh.
That's so difficult. This is still better than trying to go into WWE on your first day and shaking Randy Orton's hand. Hello and welcome to another edition of our Prediction League with myself, Daragh, Dave, of course, still trying to...
I think I had it.
Have you got it?
Ish.
Let's have a look.
This is as close as I'll ever get.
It's close. It's close.
It's something.
It's close, yeah. You should put it on Instagram and send it to Deli Ali anyway. See what he thinks.
Not a Tottenham supporter, so no.
And we're delighted to be joined by Nathan McDonagh. How are you, sir?
Good. Keep him on.
Prominent figure in the Irish wrestling scene.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
You're a famous fan, let's put it that way.
You are.
Oh, is there anything worse than being a famous fan?
Famous hate.
Well, you're involved in the...
There's people who'd agree with that one too.
Well, you're the founder for the Hope Spot studio documentary. It's coming out very soon.
Yeah.
You're announcing now for Fight Factory as well, and you're also involved with some podcasts for Low Blows as well. So yeah,
I keep busy.
Yeah. Exactly. And of course, just last week you were taking part in Grapple Game 6. You were the announcer for the night.
Fantastic show.
How did you get on? Well, we know how you got on because we were there, but how did you feel you got on?
I was happy with it. Bits and pieces during the night where I could feel my voice starting to go, because I only got the text about it like maybe 2 days before the show, so like I wasn't prepared at all. Yeah. But it was fantastic. I'm really happy with it.
Yeah,
so we'll see how it looks on the VOD as well.
Yeah,
excellent. Yeah, did a great job trying to keep the crowd away from Phil having his match with the Ring.
Oh God,
I heard about that. Yeah.
we weren't expecting the Ring to break like that. That's just like the size of Nightmare Edition, like physically trying to put Rock Shandy through the ring. So like we were kind of like, oh, what do we do? And I was just like, the raffle,
the raffle quickly. Oh, I wish you could see it. I wasn't there. So, but
if it is part of the VOD,
well, definitely.
You should have.
I really hope it is.
Yeah,
guys, GG Media, put it in, right? So,
you'll see the scores at the moment going through the bottom of the screen. Unfortunately, Dave has taken a further lead after Extreme Rules. It's actually been a while since we've done a Prediction League.
Yeah, it has been, hasn't it?
It's been a while.
Last one was with Andrew, yeah. So
I've fallen down into 3rd place as well.
Yeah, shocker, man.
Our guests have moved up into 2nd. So Nathan, you have big shoes to fill to keep that going.
So much pressure.
2 shows though.
2 shows,
to try and get some points back.
Yes.
So it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah. So
we're going to start though with NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. And we'll start with the first match on the card, Velveteen Dream versus EC3. Who have you got and why? And Nathan, since you're the guest, we'll let you go first.
Thank you. Okay, so EC3 is my boy. I love EC3 so much. And I love Velveteen Dream. So picking one over the other really hurts my soul.
I'm trying to pick who your favourite child is right now.
Pretty much. So I'm leaning more toward EC3.
Okay.
Purely because in terms of like his progression and story, I feel he's going to head off now towards the North American Championship. And even if Velveteen Dream loses, he never really loses because he's so popular, but also he doesn't care about wins and losses. I find when I look at him, I'm kind of like, he cares about getting in people's heads. And he's in EC3's head. So it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Whether he wins or loses, he's still done his stuff. And EC3 is going to go on now and get victory after victory after victory.
I'm going to disagree.
Okay.
I'm going to say it's going to be Dream over for EC3. Dream has had a run of matches now where he's been on a bit of a loss for takeover shows. I know you say that he doesn't care about wins or losses as long as he's in his opponent's head, but I think at some stage, if you want to start making him a credible threat for maybe the North American title, or if you want him to go after the NXT title, he has to have some wins to back that up, and I think this is where he's going to start it. The win against EC3 in what will probably be a fantastic match.
Oh God, yeah.
Velveteen Dream by pinfall.
I'm going to go with Dream too. I think a loss won't necessarily hurt EC3 like it won't hurt Dream also. I think although both those guys, they have an aura around them where a loss won't hurt them so much once they're still in their character to progress. So I think this could be one of these matches like similar to like in the G1 where the winner is good but the loser still doesn't lose.
Yeah.
It's one regardless who wins or loses. But I agree with Daragh. The Dream is overdue for a win and takeover, so I'm going to go for Dream victory as well. So
for me, it's just one of those things with NXT. It's ridiculously difficult to predict because everyone is kind of in that position where the writing for the show is really good, and that you're kind of like second guessing everything you pick.
Pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, they have no problem just pulling the surprise out of the bag at any point.
Yeah.
At any point. And with that thinking, we'll move on to our next match. It's the NXT Tag Team titles. It's the Undisputed Era of Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly against Mustache Mountain, Tyler Bate, Trent Seven. Dave, you are the leader at the moment, so I'll let you go.
I'm going to go with a Undisputed Era defense. It'll be O'Reilly pinning 7. I just feel they'll exploit the bad leg or something like that. Like, isn't Trent 7 carrying an injury at the moment? Or at least a kayfabe injury at the very least.
Well, from their last time that they fought.
Yeah, so I feel it'll be very close. I think they'll just be this close, Mustache Mountain, but still won't be enough. So I think they'll still go ahead, and maybe War Warriors will be next for the Undisputed Era there. So, sorry, Emmy. So, just use the Trent 7.
I'm going to agree. Undisputed Era. I think. Oh, by the way, you get a bonus point if you can correctly predict who pins who or who submits who in the last match. I think it's actually going to be Roderick Strong to pin Trent 7, and I think Bobby Fish is close to being cleared, so I think he may have something to do with it. He's still hanging around a lot.
It's true.
So I'm actually going to say that he is going to interrupt at some stage, and will help Undisputed Era get the win.
That's a good call, actually.
Yeah, that's my thinking on it as well. I think it's the numbers game is going to catch up. I feel like Michael Cullen now. The numbers game is going to catch up to Mustache Mountain, and they're not going to be able to defend, especially with Trent and his bum knee at the minute. So I wouldn't say Roderick Strong is going to pin anyone because I hate Roderick Strong because he turned on Pete Dunne and he's a scumbag for doing it. So I'll go with...
he's a crappy Michael May.
I'll go with O'Reilly pinning Trent 7.
Okay. We'll move on to the other member of Undisputed Era in action. It's the North American Championship, Adam Cole versus Ricochet. I'll go first on this one. I think there's actually going to be a title change.
Okay.
I'm going to go Ricochet. I think he is on a great run. He's got the backing of the fans. I think he's got the backing of the people backstage as well. And I think the next thing for him is to put a title belt on him. Adam Cole, I don't think needs the belt necessarily, especially if you want him to move forward, going for the NXT Championship himself. Hell, maybe even promote him up to the main roster. I don't know.
Possibly.
But I think if he was going to do that, all of them would go together.
I think so too.
But I'm going to go Ricochet pinfall victory to win the United States Championship or North American Championship.
Okay, and I'm going to agree with that. I think Ricochet is going to win too. Cole doesn't necessarily.
I see what you're doing here.
What? To
keep your lead, you're just agreeing with everything I say.
You'll think differently the more we get into it. But no, I'm going with Ricochet as well. Adam Cole doesn't necessarily need the title. I don't think as much. Although he's doing very well as champion, he's an excellent American champion so far. I think it's cool if Ricochet moves on for that as well. So, not necessarily. It could even lead to a situation where Adam Cole again he could progress and go for the NXT title next to take on whoever the winner is between Gargano and Ciampa, for example. So yeah, I'm going for Ricochet for this one. Yeah, no,
I've picked Ricochet in this one as well, purely because I think there's a lot of fatigue around the NXT title scene at the minute because of the whole Gargano and Ciampa feud, because it's gone on for so long. Not to say it's a bad feud, it's amazing.
Fantastic.
But there's a lot of people kind of being like, this is getting a bit thin. So I think with Aleister Black on the shelf for the moment, I think Adam Cole is going to lose the title and then possibly move up towards the NXT title with the 3 lads behind him.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, cool.
Excellent. We move on then to the NXT Women's Championship. Shayna Baszler, Kairi Sane. Who wants to go first on this one?
Oh, that is fun. I think we're going to have a new champion there as well. I think Kairi Sane is going to win by submission as well.
Okay.
Yeah, like if you've seen NXT recently, she really showed a vicious streak against Aaliyah, where she must have. She's usually all very kind and very happy, and she's vicious when she wants to be. But in this one, she really showed a particular vicious streak, I think, with the elbow drops and looking at Baszler when she had that version of the sharpshooter on her, like so. So I fear it could be this, like Baszler's now gotten to that. She's progressed enough where she could move up after very soon now. I think she could be definitely up there to move up to the main roster very soon. I definitely think so. So I'm gonna go with Sane to win by submission, where she just makes her either pass out or just like a tap out in the end. So
make an MMA star tap out. Really? Okay, that's fair.
She tapped out in the name before. Like, I mean, I know it seems weird as a wrestler. I agree, but at the same time, you know, I don't know. If it shouldn't tap out, she passes out 1 to 2.
Okay.
So,
Nathan?
I have Shayna Baszler winning by submission. I think NXT are very kind of good for keeping belts on people for a very long period of time, and I think that they really want to make her out to be like this big dominant champion.
Sure. That's
not going to be touched. And like, as good as Kairi Sane is, I don't think that they're going to be like, we'll have you be the champion, because not to say she's not popular by any means, but it's just she's not as talked about as some of the other performers in NXT.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're going to keep Baszler with the title, and as well as that, all of my predictions involve title changes except for this one. So I don't think they're going to like do a factory reset and be like, okay, everyone gets a new belt tonight.
Yeah, it's a good point though. Like, I think Bianca Belair talks about way more than Kairi Sane. Because she's her potential is limitless, I think. So she'll be up there. So.
And because her hair is fantastic.
I know. I want a hair whip like that eventually for myself.
I'm going with Shayna Baszler by submission. I think pretty much everything that you're saying is right. They're going to keep the belt on her because they're trying to build her up as this monster champion. I think like the female Brock, pretty much.
Except she shows up in defense.
Except she shows up in defense title, exactly. And I think she's been fantastic as champ. I don't think there's any need to take it off her. I think the way that they're angling it, if anyone is going to take the belt off her, I think it could be someone like a Candice LeRae. So that could happen maybe Survivor Series TakeOver. Yeah. It could happen around then maybe. But as of now, I think Baszler will keep the title.
It could be anyone. Like, there's so many good women in the Mae Young Classic this year as well, like a Toni Storm or what's her face, Io Shirai or someone like that. So
yeah, like the Mae Young Classic, I'm so excited for it just from some of the names from it. So like anybody from that division to go on to beat Baszler, I'd 100% believe it.
Yep, 100%.
Okay. Move on to the main event. Last man standing, Tommaso Ciampa, the champion, going up against Johnny Gargano. This is the end of the feud, I believe, probably either way. It was originally meant to be a triple threat, but unfortunately Aleister Black is out. Dave, you seem to be struggling the most with this. I'm going to let you go first.
See, you say it's the end of the rivalry. I don't think it is.
I think so.
I don't think this is going to be the end of the rivalry. Look, this was supposed to be a triple threat match originally, okay? So I don't think they meant this to be the end of the rivalry exactly between Gargano and Ciampa. Therefore, I think the way they're going to book this match will be a draw. It'll be it's a last man standing. They're both counted out. They both fall to 10 counts, and Ciampa retained the title.
Prediction.
I know, but just thinking about it, I predicted Gargano for low blows, and I thought, that might make sense because it could end the rivalry then. But then I thought to myself, wait a minute. They put a triple threat for a reason to add Black to it, but that doesn't necessarily mean it ends between Gargano and Ciampa. So, as much as I'd like to see Gargano win, I'm going to go for a draw.
Okay.
A draw. Where Ciampa, that means Ciampa retains the title.
Okay. I'm just going out for a Ciampa win. I think they're going to turn this story, and I think they were going to do this on the show on Saturday, where Ciampa is so poisoned, has poisoned Gargano so much that he's become what he didn't want to be, as in a bad guy. And I think it was going to be Gargano who attacked Black to see heel Gargano now. But in terms of Ciampa, I think if a heel Gargano comes in and Aleister Black says that was you who attacked me, Aleister Black Gargano, there's a feud there. Ciampa has his new feud as champion with whoever challenges next. We don't know who, so we'll find out. So I think that's what's going to happen. So I'm going to say Ciampa is going to be the last man standing.
Okay.
I'm going for Gargano in this one. And I have a lot of the same logic as you. I think that he was the one who attacked Aleister Black. I think he's going to be the one to win it. But purely because anytime you see a match like this with the two of them, Gargano digs very deep, but usually kind of comes up, like he won the first match between the two, and then he lost the second. And I think this one is going to be his, purely because he digs deep, but doesn't necessarily always get the job done, or he pulls back a little bit because he still thinks there's some hope for Ciampa. Yeah. I think he's going to physically try and kill him. That it's just going to be like, it's last man standing, and you have to go to a very dark place in order to incapacitate someone to that level. So I think he's going to turn towards the kind of dark side. And also I hate factoring in outside things, but Ciampa just got a t-shirt, and that's like, he's been very kind of like, I don't want t-shirts, I don't want anything, I'm a bad guy. Now he has a t-shirt. I have a feeling that it's kind of like, it's going to be a double turn during the match.
Really?
That I think Ciampa is going to start to slowly kind of be like, okay, maybe don't kill me. I understand I beat you up and I beat up your wife, but like, don't kill me. And then Gargano's just going to go completely insane, and he's going to attack him fully, and then you'll have Black as the next kind of lined up for like, oh, you attacked me, I want my belt back, I'm going to kill you.
So Psycho Johnny.
Yeah.
Or even if Ciampa turns face, then it would make sense for like Adam Cole to be there as well. Like, then if he loses the North American title, like we all predicted. So,
and with Survivor Series coming up, I'm kind of hoping for that next takeover be a similar kind of multi-man match as last year, like War Games or even a Survivor Series style match.
Yeah, they're doing War Games for that, I think, again.
I think fantastic.
So there we go. So now we'll move on to the next big show for SummerSlam.
It's such a sweet sensation. And we're going to start with the pre-show matches. We're going to go for the Raw Tag Team Championships first. Just a quick note on that. It's weird how a year can change. Because last year on the SummerSlam pre-show, it was the SmackDown Tag Team titles between, I think, the New Day and Usos. I think they blew out the arena, wasn't it?
Pretty much, that was one of the best. That's probably the best match of the night.
And now the Raw Tag Team titles are now on the pre-show.
You saying this match is going to be match of the night?
It could be.
It could be. Survivor are awesome team.
But it's the B team, Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel against the Revival, Dash Wilder, Scott Dawson. Nathan, who have you got in this?
I'm with the B team on this one. With it being a pre-show match, I've not kind of focused very much on what's going on there, so I just think I can't see them doing a title change to start a night.
They're doing it sort of similar to... It's not similar, but I see comparisons in like the Doug Williams run in progress at the moment, where if he loses, he retires. B team are kind of like, if we lose, we've had the greatest run of our lives. It's fantastic. So let's just go out and give it our all. So I think that they're going to keep using that mentality for a while. I think this is going to help them beat the Revival. I'm going to say Bo Dallas is going to pin Dawson.
I'm going to go for Revival on this one. Okay. I think Revival now, they're slowly but surely getting back into the swing of things now as a tag team. Obviously they've had a lot of bad luck with injuries since they moved up to the main roster. I think this is their due time, so I'm going to go with Dawson pinning Axel for this, so in champions.
Okay. Oh, I meant to say I'm going to have Axel pinning Dash.
Okay, grand. So everybody picks different ones.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's perfect. And we'll move on to the mixed tag team match. Cien Almas, Zelina Vega against Rusev and Lana. So is it going to be a Rusev and Lana day, or is Vega and Almas?
Every day is Rusev day. But this particular day will be a very big Rusev day, because I'm going to go Rusev and Lana this one. Rusev pinning Almas, obviously.
Okay.
They're due for a win because I feel like Almas and Vigo are getting the better hand of the whole thing and the whole weirdness between Lana, English, and Rusev, and it's going to come ahead. And maybe at the end, Rusev and Lana, they'll be celebrating with English and maybe someone attacks someone on them. But Rusev, I think, will win.
Okay. I'm going against that. I'm thinking Almas and Vega.
Right.
I think that, like you were saying about that, English is going to come in, but he's going to not do a good job again. He's going to mess it up again, because I thought they were leading to this match for SummerSlam between Rusev and English myself, but obviously not. So I'm going to say Almas is going to pin Rusev to get the win.
Okay.
I'm on the same line as you. However, for my pins, I think it's going to be Vega pinning Lana.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But
Who was it? It was Almas against English this week, wasn't it? And last week it was Vega against Lana.
Yeah.
because I think Aiden English is going to screw them over. But
Yeah,
not
deliberately.
intentionally. No, not intentionally. I think it's just going to be he's just a bumbling idiot.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's a great singer, but clumsy man.
We'll go on to the last match on the pre-show. Cruiserweight Championship, Cedric Alexander against Drew Gulak.
You go first this time.
I'll go first. Okay. I'm going to say Alexander holds on to the title.
Okay.
And be a pinfall. I'll be honest, I haven't kept as close an eye on this as I would have liked.
Okay.
Obviously, Drew
Gulak
Gulak has all the momentum at the moment. But I think they like Alexander as a champion. So I think they might just keep it on him.
True. But I think Gulak is doing so well that I think I'd love to see him as champion. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go with him winning by submission. He gets to Gulak, whether he taps out or passes out, one of the two. But I think he's by far the most entertaining guy in 205 Live at the moment. Not in terms of character and the wrestler himself, he's the most complete package in that sense. So I think he deserves to be champion.
Yeah, I don't have the network, so I don't get to see 205 Live, but I've seen some great stuff on Twitter anyway in regards to Drew Gulak, and everyone is kind of pulling for him in this one, so I'm going to say Gulak by submission.
Cool.
Okay. Grant. We'll move on to the main show, and we'll start off with Finn Balor against Constable Baron Corbin. Nathan, I'll let you go first on this one.
Yeah, I can't see Finn losing this one. Not even from like the Irish pride point of view.
Here's a question: do we see Demon Finn?
No. Okay.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think in terms of where Finn is at the minute, he's just kind of spinning his wheels, and it's just one thing to another thing, and it's kind of him hanging on to. Well, 2 years ago I won the Universal Championship, and everyone's like, "Sure, you did. Great job."
That's kind of true.
So I'm kind of like, I'd love to see him get a win, and then I'd love to see him go on to do something else. Mm-hmm. And get as far away. Like, I love Corbin, but like I want to see him as far away from that as possible.
Yeah. Corbin by pin.
You're saying Corbin?
Sorry, Finn by pin. God, what's wrong with me? No, you're right. Finn by pin. That's it. Like nothing more to say about it.
Yeah,
so.
pretty much. I'm going to go the exact same. Finn by pin.
Hamster in a cage is Finn at the moment. So
Finn by pin. He gets a nice SummerSlam moment that he gets a win. That's it. We'll move on to the United States Championship. Shinsuke Nakamura against Jeff Hardy. Who have you got and why? I'll go first on this one, I guess. Shinsuke. He's going to keep the title. Randy Orton's obviously going to do something. He's going to come in. He's going to interrupt against Jeff. Or he might not even, and he wait until the match is over and then attack Jeff. I don't know, but Shinsuke's winning this by pinfall.
Yeah, I agree. I can't see Shinsuke losing the title anytime soon. Again, Orton being a factor in this match against Jeff as well. There's talk that they could be added to the match as well, but either way, I don't think it'll make a difference in Nakamura. I think it's still retaining the title regardless. So yeah, pinfall.
Yeah, I think what they did with Nakamura between January and April, and even beyond that, I don't think they're gonna take the title off him, because they've royally screwed him over.
Yeah,
with that whole low blows thing.
Yeah.
For a while, so I'm hoping like this will be their kind of way of being like, we're sorry, we didn't mean it, but here's a belt to keep you going for the meantime.
Yeah. Okay. We'll then move on to the SmackDown Women's title. Triple threat. Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Carmella.
Okay.
Who we got? I'll go first on this one. I think it's going to be Charlotte. I think Charlotte's got to win by submission. Bonus point if you can guess who eats the pin or eats a submission. I think it's going to be Becky.
Really?
I think it's going to be Becky.
She submits Becky or pins Becky?
She submits Becky.
Oh God. I can see that.
Everyone's going saying Becky's going to turn heel now. I can't see it myself personally. I just can't. But I think we're more likely to see Charlotte turn heel.
What do you think?
I have Carmella winning this one.
Okay.
And I feel like everyone, like, you can already tell people are being like, oh, no. I absolutely love Carmella as a wrestler and a character. I think she's fantastic. I like the story that they have going at the minute with Becky and Charlotte, where it's like, there was a news article written where it was like, how Charlotte Flair's best friend found herself in the main event of SummerSlam, or in a match at SummerSlam, and Becky was like, asterisk, Becky Lynch. So I feel they're going that way. I think Charlotte is going to turn on Becky. The two of them are going to be trying to get into it at some point, and Carmella's going to take advantage and get a roll up on Charlotte.
But you've noticed how there's these small little tendencies from Becky lately that make you think she could go heel. You ever notice that? Even last week.
Are you reading too much into those tendencies because you want to see her turn heel?
Yes, that's the point. Like that face she made when she got into the match. Like when she said, "Oh, let the best one win," I will. Small stuff like that. I'm gonna go Charlotte to win though as well, but she submits Carmella as opposed to Ben and as opposed to Lynch. But that aggravates Lynch, who had this entire very good run coming in. Smack.
See, I'm looking like further down the line as well, because I'm thinking like Evolution is coming up in August.
Yeah.
And Becky and Charlotte is going to be a fantastic feud going into that. So like this is going to be the seeds of it.
Yeah.
You could do it for the title as well and make it main event.
Yeah.
You know? So we'll move on to probably a match. How many years in the build-up would we say? It's probably a couple of years. Daniel Bryan against The Miz. Dave, I'll let you go first on this one.
I can't believe I'm going to say this. I'm going to pick The Miz to win this match.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. It almost seems ideal about the fact that Bryan wins this match, and that's why Miz will win this match. You know what I'm trying to say? Like everyone wants to see him get his arse kicked, like left, right, and center in this match. But something could happen where, like, because let's face it, like Miz has a point to prove in this match as well, not just Bryan. But like Miz just trying to probably be just as competitive as Bryan in this match, especially with now there's a different type of style. Like the new style of Bryan will obviously surprise Miz, but Miz is familiar with that as well as Bryan, so therefore he could get more even, and it could be such a close match and just a quick roll up with tights, and then that's how it wins, and it may continue. If we knew Bryan was leaving WWE, it would be Bryan all the way. But because now we know, we reported in the news that there's a 90% chance he's resigning.
I see that in the other way. If it was a 100% chance, if we thought that Bryan was leaving, I would have picked The Miz.
Really?
Because he's leaving.
Yeah, but wouldn't it make more sense if Bryan went away in the win?
No, because obviously they would have been angry at him because he's not signing a contract.
Yeah, but the point is I can't see this rivalry ending in this match, so I'm going to go with The Miz win by pinfall.
I tried to look at stuff in isolation, but the whole contract thing has been getting to me on this. So ideally, Bryan would win, but I'm a huge Miz fan, and also if he is leaving, I can hear the old adage, you go out and you're back. And it's going to be, this is your big SummerSlam match. And like it's been weird over the last while, because there's been the whole story where it's like, if he is leaving, they're kind of doing like Daniel Bryan's greatest hits at the minute, where it's like Team Hell No reuniting, Bryan versus Miz, and then if he's gone in September, you've gotten everything out the way. So I think it's going to be Miz.
Well, the only thing that was missing would have been the WWE title. That was the only thing. But I think this whole contract thing, the more I look at it, is more and more of a purposeful play by WWE. They're putting it purposefully into the storyline. I think the contract's been agreed for a while. They wouldn't have gone on through that effort to put Daniel Bryan showcase in the WWE
But are they
game.
that smart though?
What?
Are they really that smart at it though?
I think so.
I'm not sure.
I remember a while ago listening to Bryan on Jericho's podcast, and Jericho said to him, this is ages before SummerSlam or anything, he's like, are you re-signing? And he's like, I honestly don't know. He's like, it depends on if the stories and the money is there and everything is surrounding it, I'd love to, but at the same time, he's like, my contract expires, and it expires the 1st of September, and he was like, I don't know the logistics of it expires the night before or like at midnight on the 1st, because he was saying like, are you all in? And it's like, if he is, what a moment that's going to be.
Yeah.
But if he's not, like, there's so much surrounding this.
I
Resign September 2nd.
Yeah.
I just can't see that.
Right.
I just can't.
So you're going...
I'm going Daniel Bryan.
Okay.
If this was any other pay-per-view than one of the big four, or the big three,
Miz.
Yeah, it would have been Miz. And I would have agreed with you that Miz could get the roll-up win. But I think that at SummerSlam, the visual of SummerSlam itself, like, I chose to go against Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania when his comeback match.
Right.
Big mistake. Because of WWE love these visuals of the crowd going out, and like he's going to get one of the biggest pops of the night for sure. If Biz beats the Miz, then that's one of the that is it. That is your visual there that you can go into now for the next time for next Tuesday on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Next match, IC title. Dolph Ziggler with Drew Gulak in his corner against Seth Rollins.
Drew Galloway, man.
Drew Galloway.
Drew McIntyre.
Drew
sorry.
McIntyre. What was wrong with me? Sorry.
Okay.
Against Seth Rollins with the returning Dean Ambrose in his corner. Dave.
I'm going to go... We're going to have a new champion. Seth Rollins is going to win by pinfall.
Okay.
I don't like to think that there's going to be something between Seth and Dean. There's a small doubt in my mind that something could happen. But I think it could be too soon. Like, so I'm going to go Seth wins. There's a difference when Ambrose helps against, let's say, McIntyre Fiends affairs. So yeah, Seth wins the title by pinfall.
I'm going the complete opposite. I think Dean Ambrose has sat at home for the last 9 months stewing over the fact that Seth stabbed him in the back again by replacing with Jason Jordan.
Good points.
That he stabbed him in the back again by waiting so long to call him for this, and that while he was at home he was like, okay, so he screwed me over with the tag belts, he screwed me over when he broke up the Shield, and then he calls me as a last resort. So I think he's going to intentionally interfere in the match. Also, the look of him on Raw, that's not a man who's like... That's not a good
guy. That's a bad guy right there.
Yeah, so I'm like, I have a feeling he's going to interfere. I think he's going to be one of these people, he won't have any sort of kind of allegiance in the match. Like, he'll attack Ziggler, he'll attack Galloway or McIntyre, and then he'll also attack Seth. And it's going to be Ziggler getting the win.
It could be better though if he attacks him after he wins if he wins the IC title. That way he has something extra to go for.
Well, I don't think a feud that person would need a title anyway.
True.
Yeah.
True.
And also there was a very small moment on Raw this week where they picked up the contract, and Seth kind of hesitates to look at Dean as he's taking up the contract, as if to kind of be like, I don't feel good about this. Like, he knows that there's something going on.
He forced that against his chest. But if it's the way he is, I suppose he's very intense after attacking.
I'm going with Ziggler win.
Okay.
I think the same. I think they wanted to turn Dean before WrestleMania to go up against Seth.
It's true.
You have your chance now. Do it now. Again, big stage. SummerSlam, two friends turn on each other. There you go. You can run that story on Raw then for the next few months if you need to. So, yeah, Ziggler to pin Seth. We'll move on to the SmackDown Tag Team titles now. It is the New Day against the Bludgeon Brothers.
Okay, I'm going to give a Bludgeon Brothers defense. I think it's going to have Harper pinning Xavier Woods. I think they'll give him a challenge this time. Like, I think it could be a closer match than certainly the one at WrestleMania when they destroyed him almost. But no, Keane, you're safe. You're going to be champions for a while.
I'm going for a title change. I'm going New Day.
Explain why.
New Day
and how?
Because Bludgeon Brothers have had the title for a while now. They haven't exactly excelled as champions. They've been steady. I think they've been a steady heel team to sort of hold the titles for a while. SummerSlam's a great opportunity to change the championships, move on, because you have Sanity now. You
Usos,
have the Bar, you have Usos. Like, you can have these matches with the New Day.
That division is probably the best in wrestling at the moment.
Yeah.
You know.
So I'm going to say New Day are going to win. I'm going to have Kofi Kingston to pin Luke Harper.
Okay.
I'm going to the opposite on that. I think if they put the belts on the New Day again, you're going to have a lot of people being like, it's the same old stuff. You do it every time. It's just that holding pattern of, we go back to the New Day because we know that they can hold the belts. So I think it's going to be later down the line. Like, the next pay-per-view
is a Raw one.
Okay.
Oh,
so
no,
they're dual now, so yeah. Well, whatever the next pay-per-view is, I think there will be a title change then, but I don't think it's going to be to the New Day, so I think it's going to be Bludgeon Brothers picking up the win, and it's going to be Eric Rowan pinning Xavier Woods.
Okay, then. I love how everyone's guessing different things.
Yeah.
I might actually get some points back.
Yeah, they might fall more behind though as well.
Go on to the Money in the Bank contract match. WWE have obviously been looking at New Japan and saying, right, the Money in the Bank needs to be defended more.
It's a good idea, to be fair.
Braun Strowman against Kevin Owens. I'll go first on this one. I think Braun is taking it. I think that Kevin is going to try everything he can to make Braun get disqualified or get counted out, or just to, like, the way that he has been for the last while. But Braun, I think, now is going to evolve a little bit. He's going to say that he's smarter now than what he was, and I think Braun will keep not the belt, but we'll keep the briefcase.
No, I agree. I can't see Braun losing this. Like, it's almost to the point now with the way Kevin is against him. What's he going to do to him? He's going to try to be tricky, but what's going to do to him? No, it's Braun all the way for me.
Is there a championship advantage with the briefcase?
No.
Okay. So
if it's a disqualification, if KO wins by DQ, he gets the.
Okay,
the
well,
briefcase.
I have a funny feeling I think Kevin Owens is going to win.
Okay.
Because I feel when Braun was like white hot for ages, and then they waited too long, and now it's kind of like you can tell when they kind of do something and they're like, okay, so you were just flavor of the month, you can go off now. So I think it's going to be Kevin Owens will win, probably by disqualification, and I have him cashing in at the end of the night.
Oh, okay.
So more on that later.
More on that later. WWE title match next, yeah.
Yes, WWE Championship, AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe. Nathan, I'll let Nathan go first.
Thank you. Yeah, I have Joe winning this one by submission.
Okay.
I think he has gotten into AJ Styles' head by bringing up his wife and kids, and my logic on it is it's going to come down to the end of it, and it's going to be AJ in the Coquina clutch, and it's going to be one of two things. It's like AJ can either say to himself, does this championship mean more to me than my family, or does my family mean more to me and I can come get this back later? And he's either going to tap out or pass out.
But if he passes out, that means he doesn't care.
Yeah, if he passes out, it means he doesn't care, and then his family are going to hate him for it. As well as that, he's been champion for just about a year.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be, they're going to freshen it up, and it's going to be Joe wins the belt. And if everything going well with Brian, I think it's going to end up being those three lads circling around the belt for the next while.
Wow. Yeah, I can definitely see Joe. I can't disagree with you there. When Joe is in AJ's head, as you said, like, I think that finish could be that could be a very noted factor, but at the same time, like, I can't see, like, he's in his head big time. So yeah, Joe by submission as well. So champion.
My prediction for this match ties into the Universal title match as well, because I think we're getting a title change there, maybe even two. That's why I don't think they're going to have the two main titles change hands on the same day. So that's why I'm going to go with AJ to win, to just about win, skin of his teeth style win. Like, he'll pin Samoa Joe to get the victory, but he'll be in the fight of his life, and then be able to continue this feud, saying Joe, like, will say, you just barely beat me or something, I'll get you next time, and you can set up another match, and then maybe they can take the title then. But I think because of what's happening in the Universal title side, I don't think they'll change two titles at the same time.
Do you think they'll make it?
I think so. I think it's too much of a change.
I don't know.
See, I tend to think of, like, SummerSlam as being like the reset for autumn and winter. So like everyone's like, okay, Rumble is the start of the year, Mania sets up everything for the summer, and then after summer you got SummerSlam. So I kind of see them as being like, if they change everything now, they'll at least have people's interest for a couple of weeks to see where things are going, and then beyond then, when the NFL comes back and then they start kind of phoning it in, then it's kind of going to be like nothing's going to change, and the titles are going to stay with everybody.
Okay, that's fair. Move on then to the Raw Women's Championship. Alexa Bliss versus Ronda Rousey. People are saying this is straightforward. Some people are saying it's silly to look that way. I'm going to look the straightforward way, and I'm saying Ronda's taking the title. She was there recently in Manhattan. They unveiled a mural for her ahead of SummerSlam. Big, like, pain. It's actually class. If you get a chance to look at it, you should. Yeah. Ronda, like I said about the visual, Daniel Bryan winning at SummerSlam, it's great for WWE. Like, marketability wise for Ronda to win at SummerSlam, the amount of news reports that will come out after that.
It's true.
Ronda, title holder.
Mainstream reporting, yeah.
Yeah. Ronda is beating Alexa by submission.
What do you think?
I don't see that happening. I see Alexa winning in a very cheap way, and then they'll get their kind of visual afterwards where Ronda will put her into the armbar, and we've seen like Alexa has a double jointed elbow, so she can bend it back fully.
Yeah.
I think they'll have that as their end point, but I think they're going to build up to Ronda winning it at Evolution instead.
Okay.
Because I feel like they're going to have that as like she's the next kind of evolution in what women's wrestling is, and it's these badass women fighters. So I think Bliss is going to get it by the skin of her teeth. Ronda's going to kick her ass afterwards, and then we'll kind of move on and see where we end up in October.
It's hard for me to see how Alexa Bliss is going to win. I can't picture the booking for, like, in terms of Bliss going on to win against Rousey. That's why it's or something that's different, certainly.
I can definitely see it being like a cheat finish, where it's going to be either it's going to be a roll up, or it's going to be Mickie James getting involved, or it's going to be
Mickie James
a DQ.
but because it's been more Alicia Fox now.
Because it's against someone like Rousey, as opposed to like a Becky Lynch or a Nia Jax that she took on before and won the title in a similar way. I just don't know how it's going to be booked with Rousey. So by that logic, I'm with yourself. I'm with Rousey to win by submission too. So
okay. Main event. Universal Championship. Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns. Dave is praying that he gets to make his prediction for us, so he'll let him.
It's Roman all the way. Come on, like no,
I'll just tell you, we said all of this
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
I know, but now
and Jay Money was the only one that said that Brock would win as well. He was right. He obviously paid him off.
Oh my god, no, seriously, it can't not be Roman. And you know, and it could be other factors into it as well. There's rumours of DC showing up at ringsides to it as well, which I think would actually be brilliant. Like, and that could distract him or something like that, or even Heyman getting involved and costing Brock. We don't know.
I love how UFC is at work now. It's so good.
I know. Dana White, I think, put up a tweet during the week saying just LOL for the video of Roman Reigns commenting about Dana White.
Yeah. But so Roman's going to win straight after, though. Braun Strowman's going to cash in and win the title then after.
You took my prediction away from me. Thank you very much. I believe the same. I think this whole thing with Roman and Brock is got to finish. Like, no one's mentioning the fact that this is the last match scheduled on Brock's contract, and there's meant to be talks happening today, on Saturday, as we record this.
Job negotiators.
That Brock might be signing a new deal, but I think he's going to UFC. He's setting up that fight with DC, and I think he's going to go. As soon as this match finishes, we'll hear the report that he's back in the testing pool, so we can get over his ban.
Yeah.
Because I think he still has like 9 months left on that.
Yeah.
So 9 months to get ready for the DC fight. You know, so I think it's going to be Roman Reigns, and yes, Braun will cash in at the end of the night because they don't. WWE still want you to pine for Roman, but without giving him the title.
Or even Braun to cash in during the match, making a triple threat like Seth Rollins. So.
Yeah,
because if there's that visual where you still can't see Roman beat Brock, is it, like if Braun is in there as well, it's more realistic that he could win. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but you're still thinking.
But Roman.
But which one are you going for? Because that's
Roman
integral into the prediction.
So despite what I said there, Roman and then Braun.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I definitely see Brock losing. He's definitely heading back off to the UFC, and like with him knocking 7 belts out of Heyman and everything, it's clearly them saying like you were coming to the end. He's going to lose. I did say Kevin Owens was going to win the Money in the Bank contract, and I think he's going to cash it in because over the last while there's kind of been everyone's a bit more sympathetic towards Kevin Owens.
True.
Because although he's scheming and manipulative, Braun Strowman goes a little bit too far.
He's taking a beat.
He flipped his car.
Braun Strowman has been bullying him.
Yeah.
For no reason.
So that's why I can kind of see people being like, they'll do the finish and Roman will win, and this will be the third time somebody successfully cashes in a contract on Roman.
You know what's so ironic about that though is that here is if Kevin Owens turns face because people are feeling sorry for him, and here's Vince trying to do it for Roman Reigns, it's kind of ironic there, isn't it?
Yeah, so I think it's going to be him kind of, and like in terms of the visual, New York crowds are quite smart and they love Kevin Owens, so I think you'll have the end of the night with they'll have the confetti cannon go off for Roman, and then it'll be Kevin comes out and cashes in, and then he's there with the championship, and it's just everyone's going nuts. Roman's on the ground again. It just kind of like SummerSlam a couple of years ago.
Where he had his hands on his head.
Yeah.
And
It's not a Survivor Series, yeah.
when you're saying about the New York crowd being smart, though, would this not be a more international crowd like it would be for WrestleMania? Because it's one of the big ones. Maybe you might get a lot of people traveling over for it.
Possibly.
Kind of, but even then, like I think most of the people there, like
It will be a
if
smart
you travel
crowd.
over for that, you're probably a smart club.
Yeah, so
So like I'd imagine it's going to be.
it's not too many of the casual fans will be at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we are.
So that is our predictions for TakeOver and SummerSlam. If you agree with them, if you don't agree with them, let us know. Of course, just before we let you go, we'll do a quick wrap up. Nathan, let us know about when are we going to see the documentary possibly?
We're looking at early 2019. There's been a couple of stops and starts with it. We were originally aiming for like October this year, but it's had to be pushed back a bit. So
Okay. And social media wise, where can we find you and where can we find HopeSpot as well?
you can find HopeSpot at HopeSpot Studio. You can find me at Nathan C. McDonagh. And yeah, that's more or less everything. I'm the same across, and so is HopeSpot, same across Instagram and Twitter.
And the one with the podcast page is on Twitter and Instagram
We're on
as well.
Twitter. On Instagram, it's at the one with the Insta. It's the number one, and then for Twitter, it's at the one with the podcast.
Excellent.
There we are.
Oh, sorry, the one with the pod. I'll be raked over the coals for forgetting that. It's my Twitter account.
Well, there we are anyway. So thanks for checking us out here for Prediction League. Make sure to check us out anyway on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Find all our podcast content on YouTube, Spotify and iTunes. My Twitter, Dave McDonagh, Daragh at
Lars Bar.
And that's us for the weekend. So Nathan, thanks very much for coming in. Delighted to have you on, and let's enjoy the rest of this weekend, lads. So
Thanks a million.
thanks for checking us out.